Built in the 11th-12th century BC, Rani Ki Vav, or the Queen's Stepwell, is an important example of subterranean architecture. The richly sculpted walls and pillars depict Lord Vishnu's incarnations. This monument has elaborately constructed steps, pillars, and landings which transforms the mundane experience of fetching water into a pilgrimage. Carved geometrical patterns seen here are reflected in the design vocabulary of the Patola tradition. Rani Ki Vav and Patola Textiles have put Patan on the World Heritage Map. Patan was the capital of Gujarat in medieval times. The Jain king Kumar Pal of Patan patronized the textile craft and wore a new patola to the temple every day. Patola refers to the multicolored silk textile that is patterned prior to weaving by the double ikat or yarn tie resist dyeing technique. It is important because it is the only surviving double ikat tradition in the state of Gujarat, and just 3 families practice this craft. The weavers belong to the Salvi community and have expertise in the resist dyeing technique carried out on the silk warp and the weft for achieving complex multicolored patterns. The tie resist dyeing technique requires great precision and calculations, as the entire pattern is broken down into units of threads that need to be wrapped and thus resisted from receiving dye or to be left uncovered to receive dye. The use of chemical dyes of the acid dye group is more prevalent, though one of the Salvi families had tried to reintroduce natural dyes. The number of times the warp and weft threads have to be wrapped and dyed depend on the number of colors used in the design. The patola design is visualized and developed on paper using the grid of squares as a structure for translating the design onto the warp and the weft threads. The various stages such as the tie-dyeing of the warp, tie-dyeing of the weft, laying out the warp, making of the string heels, setting up the loom ready for weaving, and finally the weaving are labor-intensive, requiring expertise and immense patience. The patola weavers aim for precision in the contour of the double ikat motifs. Hence, they have innovated the use of pointed steel needles to align the warp and weft. The inclined loom is unique to the patola tradition and is different from the pit looms used in other regions of India, where single and double ikat textiles are also woven. The technology of weaving and the loom have remained the same since its origin. Patola has retained a high level of craftsmanship in spite of the craft being labor-intensive and expensive. The patola sari was considered auspicious and was worn during marriages and for ceremonies performed for expecting mothers. Women of the Jain, Nagar Brahmin, Bohra Muslim and Bhatia communities used them. silk is considered pure and patolas were given as offerings to deities and shrines. The Salvis aspire to set up a museum that will rekindle the market and appreciation for patola and increase the visibility of this tradition. They reproduced an heirloom patola design that was exported to Indonesia during the 13th century. The Festival of India initiative recognized the need to revive the market for high-value skills manifest in the patola tradition, and this led to new designs which reinterpreted the old for a contemporary sensibility. A quilt made from reused patola and bandhani fabrics had the pride of place in the Kathi community's home, is evidence of the high respect accorded to the textile's social, cultural and emotional value.
Patola, the double ikat silk textile, embodies craftsmanship of a very high order. The traditional colors, figurative motifs, and geometrical patterns gave patola a distinctive quality. Patola is integral to the culture of Gujarat as well as to the cultures of Southeast Asia, where it was highly valued and coveted by the royalty and social elite. Because of its socio-cultural function, the patola was imbued with curative and protective meaning and longevity. The craftsman's need for precision and understanding of the resist technique is evident in their ability to produce a pattern which has perfect synchronization of the tie-dyed warp and weft, even though the threads undergo a number of rigorous states of wetness, tension, strain and disorder. This represents a body of technical knowledge that is part of the traditional wisdom of these craftsmen.